This is an overview video of Checkpoint's security solution for Azure Virtual WAN using CloudGuard Network Security. It includes a short introduction to Azure Virtual WAN, a demo of Checkpoint's security solution, and a call to action. Today's modern IT environments are distributed, leading to complex connectivities between them, each with different security needs, and a resulting complexity of maintenance and operational overhead. The bottom line is that security teams are focused on the operations instead of the real security. We like to think of Azure Virtual WAN as the cloud-native version of the hub-and-spoke model. It connects decentralized data centers, branch offices, and remote users in a more intuitive way, simplifying network connectivity and providing low-latency streaming of traffic. Now let's see a demo of Checkpoint's security solution in action.
Hello, my name is John. I'm a Cloud Alliance Architect from Checkpoint. This is an overview video on how our integration works with the Azure vWAN Hub. First and foremost, I want to highlight what is the difference between this solution and our existing Harmony Connect solution. Now, Harmony Connect can provide the protection to the internet. Now, whereas this solution, we can now provide the east-west traffic inspection. We can provide the protection from VNet to the data center, to the branch offices, branch to branch to VNet, and branch to the data center, all bidirectional. Essentially, anything that is connected to the hub, we have the ability to inspect the traffic, and that will include the traffic to the internet as well. Now, from an architectural perspective, these are two single gateways, and traffic is evenly distributed to the gateways from an internal load balancer inside the hub. Next, I'm going to show you how to install the CloudGuard gateways into the hub. Now, before we start provisioning the gateways, now without the CloudGuard Network Security in the hub, this is the type of attack that the customer is susceptible to. Today's threat landscape, you need multi-layer security to properly protect your users. So how to identify these security gaps? Checkpoint has this free service called cpcheckme.com. It can help you identify security gaps across your network, endpoint, cloud, and mobile devices. In this case, we're going to check our network path to the internet. Okay, so to deploy the solution, we're going to be deploying from the managed application. So we're going to select the CloudGuard vWAN gateway. Click on Create. We're going to select the resource group that we're going to be putting this in. So we're going to go ahead and select the vWAN resource group. So this is the resource group where you deploy your vWAN solution in. And then next we're going to select the select the region. I'm going to select West Central. And the application name, CloudGuard MBA. That's the name of the application. And the managed resource group will be populated automatically here. So go to next. All right, so the vWAN, so this is the vWAN hub resource group. We're going to select the which hub that we want to install in. I'm going to install this in the hub number 1. The NBA name, call it CloudGuard NBA. Scale units, right? So scale unit, we are aligning our scale units according to the vWAN scale units as well. So in this case here, 2 scale units will be deploying 2 instances. Now, if you need a higher throughput, we're going to be installing 5 instances of like 16 cores up to 32 gigs of throughput. So for testing purposes, I'm going to select 2.4 gigs. BGP ASN, what this is for, we'll be establishing a BGP connections into the vWAN hub. And this is really for our ability to connect to the hub via BGP to learn the routes that are being populated into the vWAN, so that we know how to get there. So this is pretty simple. This is for storing the, actually this is for the SSH public key. So I'm going to use the NVA0 key. All right, next, we'll go to next. And we select the CloudGuard version. So during launch, I think we're going to be supporting 80.10 and a couple of versions before that, providing N-2. Bring your own license. I always like to dive directly into Bash. Here, I'm going to put in our SIG key. We don't need a bootstrap script, just leave that. Go next. Okay, looks good. Agree to the terms and conditions. Now, this is a co-admin, the major difference here is we'll actually be installing our NVA inside the Microsoft subscription, because vWAN is actually inside the Microsoft subscription. So that's why it is co-admin access permission. So once the solution goes GA, customers will not have SSH access, and then the customer will be able to get SSH access by requesting a support ticket to Microsoft. So this process can take up to 30 minutes. So I'm just going to let it run, and we'll come back once it's finished. Okay, so here I just want to highlight that we're able to successfully install our CloudGuard Network Security gateways inside the vWAN hub, and this is the successful installation message. Next, we're going to go ahead and configure the routing intent to redirect traffic to the CloudGuard gateways. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to configure routing intent. Routing intent is a new feature that will allow Azure Fabric to redirect traffic to CloudGuard for inspection. And we have two different options of configure routing intent. So it depends on the customer's network topology. They have the option of setting up the routing intent, what kind of traffic they would like to send to the checkpoints for inspection. So so here we go. So this is the two new features from Microsoft to allow the ability to send traffic to the checkpoints. So in here, drop-down menu, this option here is to select to send all internet-bound traffic to the checkpoints for inspection. So there's an Azure firewall option, and there's a network security appliance option, because we already installed the NVA. So we're going to select the next hop to be NVA. So this means that all internet traffic, the Azure Fabric will then send the traffic to the checkpoints for inspection. Here, this is the option to send all the non-routable private IP addresses, all the RFC 1918 addresses to the checkpoints for inspection. So select, I'm going to select CloudGuard for both options and save. Now, Azure also offered the ability to add an additional prefix. So understand that there are customers that have IP ranges that they can consider internal, that is outside of the private traffic range here. So this additional prefix will also tell the Fabric to send the internal other internal subnets, such as the 1.1s and 2.2s, or anything that's outside of the RFC 19 addresses here. And that's it. It's that simple. You don't have to modify any routes after that. So anytime there's a new VNet that is peered to the hub, our NVA will be able to learn that route automatically. And that's including the new express route data centers, VPN, point-to-site VPN, anything that is going to be connected to the vWAN hub will have the ability to learn those routes automatically. Here, I just want to show the policy update for the routing intent was successfully updated. And onboard the CloudGuard gateways to our management station. So we're going to hop into the vWAN. And then we're going to go into the hub that we just deployed the solution in, our CloudGuard Network Security in. And on the left, under third-party providers, there's a network virtual appliance. And this is the appliance that we just finished installing. And we're going to click here for the instance details. So here we have the public IP addresses of the two NVAs. So we will onboard these two NVAs into our management station. Okay, so now that we have our gateways installed and we have the IP addresses, I went ahead and create the gateway objects already. So the only difference is the under network management. As a start, we advise our customer to disable the anti-spoofing on both the external and internal interfaces for now. And then once the customer's network is in production, we advise the customer to re-enable the anti-spoofing and specify the networks that are behind each one of the interfaces for enhanced security. Now, what a customer can do at this point to enable the threat prevention capability, Checkpoint have created a very simple way to help customers automatically configure our threat prevention policy. So it's simply as one click, autonomous threat prevention, and you'll go ahead and configure a sandbox, enable the CNC protection, which is the anti-bot feature. We're going to enable the threat cloud capabilities, IPS protection, sanitation with CDR, and URL and application control, all with a single click. Press OK. And we're going to do the same thing for the second firewall. All right, go to custom threat prevention, autonomous threat prevention, press OK. And that's it. So you don't have to configure the each one of the individual blades anymore. It's simply one click, and we have the threat prevention policy with some of the best practices threat prevention capabilities already installed, or already configured, I mean. So go ahead and install the policy. All right. And after the policy installation, we're going to go ahead and test the traffic to the firewall. Okay, so let's select install policy into CloudGuard gateways, install, and wait for installation to complete, and we can start test the connectivity. Okay, awesome. Installation is successful. Next, I'm going to go ahead and test the CP check me. Okay, so now that we've CloudGuard Network Security with the threat prevention enabled, you can see that the CP check me now come back all green, so the customer is fully protected. So with that, thank you so much.